Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Black Man Show. Hello, Elder Mark. How are you doing, sir?
Bishop, man, I am doing great. It's a beautiful day here in Maryland, and I'm just enjoying all what God has for us. It's just another beautiful day, man. What about
Hey,
you?
so we want to welcome our listening audience, and again, our overseer Rupert Johnson, has texting to us that he's on the road, but he
Mhm.
will be watching us, and we got a great show for you on this evening because
Yes,
this evening we are climax. We're bringing this is the last show of the third season. And I'm so delighted that Elder Mark is here with me because one of the things with this season, it is this season that Elder Mark came on in and become a part of the Bad Man Show. So again, we want to remind you to like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, so that when the fourth edition is on the way, you will be one of the first to join us. So, what I would like to do is ask Elder Mark. Elder Mark, I want to ask you, how was it that transition for you to come on and be a part of this Badman show? Talk to us a little bit how you felt about it, um, and how did you make that transition?
well, you had me on as a guest every now and then just to fill in. But now that I'm a part of the team, the ratings have gone up. The ratings have gone up since I'm a part of the team now. So
Oh my
I'm
goodness!
upset. So, with me being on here, I mean, you get nice comments because you're not always right anymore. You got somebody who come behind you to challenge you now. So, yeah, it was a good move on you guys' part to bring me on this show. So, hey,
Excellent response, man. I love it. I really, really love that. Yes, and again, on behalf of Overseer Rupert, we want to say thank you so much for just come on in and being a part, and we have been delighted to have you to be a part of the team. So, what we want to do tonight is kind of reflect back over this third season, some of the things that have happened, and some of the great challenges that we have actually faced. But I want to
yes.
begin by just asking you, what are some of the most memorable moments in the time that you've been on, or any episode that you find to be just uh, r- over the top, that was a part of this season, and any reasons why you think that was the case?
I think, well, one of the bloopers was with that episode when we were talking. I got so excited, knocked my camera off.
I remember.
You remember that? I was like, what happened? The camera just went flying all over the place. And,
Oh yeah, I remember.
of course, Deacon Simon said my wife probably hit me or threw a shoe at me, but that wasn't the case. That show was quite interesting. But I think the most memorable show for me, and the one, all of them been good, but the one I loved the most was the Father's Day edition. And the reason for that is when we had, and I forget the gentleman's name, forgive me, when he talked about the loss of his son and the whole dynamics of that, how the family could have split, but they were able, through the grace of God, keep the family unit together. And to me, that spoke volume because in today's society, when death happens in a family, that is a major family breaker, if you will, because you can't handle it. A spouse can shut the other one out. But just to look how he was able to overcome that, that I think that really helped the listening audience who may have or going through something like that, or know someone who's going through like that, and can share wisdom to them as to what they need to do. So to me, that show was good, and also to hear the other fathers talk about what they've gone through throughout the years of raising their children.
Yes, yeah, I truly appreciate that. I agree with you. That was a great show. And the as you said, the thing that stuck out to me was the fact that they made a decision that
Yes,
we're
yes.
not going to let the death cause their marriage to fail. That was a tremendous point that was made. And of course, our good friend, Deacon Simon Rollins was on.
Yes.
Of course, he has his little words to say. We truly appreciate that. And while I'm here, also our audience, I would like for you to, if you think of a show that's was one that left a mark, please share it with us by just
Mhm.
dropping a note in online, so the producers will be able to bring it to attention.
Mhm.
And while I'm also here, I want to say thank you, producers, right up front. This show would not have been what it has been without your great help, and we want to say thank you so much. uh, yes, one of the shows that were, well, two shows that were very impactful to me is every season we have our presider on, and it was
Yes.
great for him to come on and speak to us
Hmm.
on emerging out of COVID and what he saw and the future that he has for us. That was a tremendous show as well. In
Hmm.
addition to that, we also have Prophet Hunt, who also came on and gave some prophetic words for us.
Yes.
We I want to say, and I'm hoping that the audience, our listening audience, can agree with me when I say that this past season, this season number 3, was one of
Yeah.
the best that we have.
Hmm.
And not only that, was we talked about the family in the season, we also talk about some of the community involvement and activity,
Hmm.
like I, I don't, if you recall, we talked about Medicare signing up,
Right. Right.
Medicare in different state, different requirements, and what has
Hmm.
to be done. And we brought on, I believe it was Miss Myra Campbell, who 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 is a consultant, and
Right.
I actually made an appointment
Hmm.
because I'm turning 65 next year.
Right.
So I made my appointment in October to
Hmm.
get myself prepared, for Medicaid. So it was a great season, great season. Again, audience, if you have any questions, if you'd like to share any comments, we will be delighted to hear. So
And
Elamar,
along, yeah, and
any
also along with your community, oh, don't forget about Give Back to Jamaica, the whole incident where she was talking about the shoes, how by your donating of shoes can help the students. That man, that blew my mind. That just by giving shoes, help them to further their education. A
yeah,
little thing like shoes,
yeah.
things that we take for granted. That brought a light, a big light to the subject right there.
Yes, yes, the beautiful. Yes, I agree. Yes, that was Richardson, Dr.
Richardson, yes.
Richardson,
Hmm.
and our CEO, Mr. Upton Brown.
Hmm.
Yes, we that was a very rewarding episode as well. Any other thing else come to mind before we move on
Oh yeah,
today?
most definitely. We cannot forget about Pastor D and Sister A. I mean, just for
Oh,
Perusia, man,
yes,
those guys, man. Even
gotta
though I
give them
missed
credit.
out
Yes,
on the
sir.
opportunity to go to the studio, I was able to call in. Of course, you guys had big fun at the studio, but to listen to the insight they had to help make this a great show, and by them being on here as well, I applaud those guys. I mean, they got it going on up there in Germantown.
Oh yes. Elder Mark, we have you want to take that one from brother Thomas?
Yeah, it says, "Men of God, I haven't seen Overseer in 2 weeks." She no, we would like to fire him, but no, we didn't fire him.
He is fired.
No,
You
he's not fired.
at least it goes to show that somebody is
Likes
thinking that,
overseer.
oh my goodness. I want to say to brother Thomas, what about me? What about me? Yeah, yeah, we had a comment from Brother Howell, Deacon Howell. God bless you, Deacon Howell. Yes, again, we're asking that, want you share. This is, we're wrapping up the season, and we just want to reflect back on what God has done for us through this season.
Hmm.
And we don't want to leave out of this season without really telling you how much we appreciate
Right.
uh, every single one of you that have joined us, everyone that have shared the Bad Man Show with some relative, some friend, or anything that you have done to increase our audience, other
Mhm.
than the fact that Elder Mark is on and has caused s- such a massive uh,
Following.
yes,
I think one of
yes.
the other powerful shows which we had was, which stirred up a lot of, well, I won't say controversy, but when we dealt with the subject on marriage. And of course, we had, Lady Bull on there.
Oh,
And
yes.
that's when we had a lot of the women chiming in, giving their insight, which was great insight, just to leverage off of what they were talking about. But she brought a lot of stuff to the surface that we as men may not have thought about. So kudos to her for bringing, that subject matter out.
Well, not only that, Elder Mark, the producers seems to have just jumped on that bandwagon,
Oh, yes, they did.
Lady Bull bandwagon, and what just trying to wanted to take things over by violence, So, but we're still here.
We're still
Bad
here. We're still
man, we're
here.
still
Still here.
here. But
Right.
the relationship, what she discussed, what she shared about relationship and the importance was phenomenal, and we truly appreciate the courage, the
Hmm.
courage, because you just don't walk up and be on the Bad Man Show. There's a lot.
Right.
It's you have intimidation on stage.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
so we really appreciate and we thank her for what she had shared, and that was a tremendous blessing.
Right. Now, I
Uh,
think the show that brought forth a lot of, well, in my mind, controversies when we talked about government and church, trying to separate the two.
you're talking about those little individual conversations that we had amongst ourselves,
Right,
right?
right, right,
Yeah, yes. When we didn't have any guests, yeah.
right.
And the biggest challenge with those shows was who thought that they had the correct insight
Correct.
on the
Yes.
subject matter.
Right,
and
right.
and of course, I even before you actually joined us, I have been trying to make the point that you only need to look one place.
Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Where is my help? Where is my studio audience? Please chime in on this. Please. Who do you think always had the better opinion? Come on, audience. We need your input on this one. Come on.
uh, and yeah, but those conversations were those that made the show to a certain, at least the third season, more exciting.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and um, I think we just didn't have enough of those individual discussions amongst ourselves, and
No.
hopefully in the future we will. And while I'm there, well, just before I go there, we have response from Deacon Howell.
What does Deacon Howell has to say tonight? He was on our Father's Day show too. So
Oh,
big
yes,
shout
he
out to
was.
Deacon
Yes,
Howell.
he
Right.
was. Hmm.
It's amazing how a it's amazing how a show become a part of your week. The Batman show is something I look forward to each week. Thank you, Deacon Howell. We appreciate you being on here each week, man. We don't take it for granted, so we thank you, sir. But Deacon Howell, while you're there, who do you think was always right on the show? Just chat back to us real quick.
Well, yeah, come on. Yeah, why you gonna put Deacon Owl on the spot like that?
That's my
Uh,
brother. That's my friend. I
you,
love him.
you know what the answer is. Yeah. Um. uh, oh, we have.
Oh, we got the bishop on here tonight. Okay.
Oh my goodness. All right. Okay.
Go
Go
ahead,
ahead,
Bishop. Take
Elder
that one.
Mark.
Bishop, go ahead and take that one.
No, no, you go ahead. You're on a roll.
See, recoveries have been more important. Okay, okay. I agree with that. That was a good part of the show. And also, what I love about Bishop Jones, I think he's been on our show once before when he talked
He's
about
been on,
dealing
I
with COVID.
believe he has been on the show at least twice.
Right.
Yes,
When he talked
relevant.
about his bout with COVID, which was, man, that was powerful too, listening to him. Oh, so Deacon Howell came back with question marks.
Well, yeah. So, but again, I want to let's take a minute here to talk about Bishop Jones's show. Uh,
Hmm.
what was phenomenal about his show is the level of transparency that he
Yes.
actually brought, and his description to 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 show how dangerous and deadly uh, the virus is,
Yes.
that even some people take it for granted, and truly appreciate truly appreciate him coming on. And I think both times we had him on,
Right.
had been a great impact. And as he said, we're able to bring relevance
Yes.
material.
Right. Which is important show. Right. Exactly.
Oh my goodness, is that the overseer trying to jump in here and something?
Gentlemen. So what does he mean by gentlemen?
He's
I guess
just
maybe he can't type and drive too well. That's what it is. Some people can't walk and chew gum. He probably can't type and drive.
yeah, yeah. So we're grateful, we're thankful. Yes, going forward though, as I was about to say, we in want to ask the audience, as we look forward and we begin to plan for the fourth season, is there any subject that you would like for us to address going forward? I just want to make a quick point here. I know our producer Ken wants
Right.
us to do something on Juneteenth, in Juneteenth next July 19, right? I believe I got that right.
Mhm.
June 19. Yes.
And also, I like, as we talked earlier, about having more of the younger generation on here to help us to see what they're seeing and what we're not seeing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, again, you do a fine job with your Bible class with the youth, so we might have to lean on you
Hmm.
in the future to get some of those young men to be a part of a future episode within the Badman show, so we can actually spotlight some of the things that they are doing on your Bible on
Hmm.
your Bible class. Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
Bishop, I have a question for you. So, how was the challenge for you working on your papers, your schooling, still trying to be a part of the Batman show?
Well, to be honest, you ought to say thank you, papers, because it was a result of those papers that I reached out to the overseer. And again, we want to say most folks may not know, but the real vision behind the Badman show was Overseer Rupert's. He
Hmm.
came up with the idea, uh, and uh, and we took it off. Of course, we introduced Badman for Christ at least 14 years ago within the UCJC organization under the men's department.
Hmm.
And so it's just something that's been going on and on. And Overseer Rupert decided, is he making fun of my June?
Yeah, he is. He is.
Fine. All right. No problem. He's not here. So
Right.
uh, I have the mic.
Hmm.
Anyway, so what happened when I started this doctoral program, I didn't realize how much work it was. You
Hmm.
know, I just thought that I could manage all the paper, the papers that had to be written, that you had to write, and the coursework. And in fact, I in the halfway through the course, I actually told the professor that if I knew that this was so hard and so much work, I probably wouldn't have taken the class. But
Wow.
I don't pay the money already, and so
Yeah, no refund.
and so I got. But you know what was interesting, Elder Mark. Um, I have been taking online courses since 2006.
Hmm.
This was the first class I took where I had perfect score on in every single area. Unbelievable. On every single area, I got a perfect score. The one that I thought would have actually kicked me to the curb, it was, yeah. So as a result of that, I asked you to, I spoke to the overseer and asked you to come on and be a part of the team. And my goodness, you have just been such a great addition and a great benefit. All right. So thank you so much.
There was a
Bishop.
question that Deacon Howe put up, and this has been a good one because we've been talking about this for a while. Actually, we were talking about this one before the show. Deacon Howe,
Yes, yes,
when you
yes,
listen to, I think Deacon Howe was using AI listening to our conversation we were having before the show.
yes. We were having a conversation about that. Deacon Howell, that's gonna be a show all by itself.
Yes.
Uh, that we really need to do appropriate research and bring it to the listening audience. The audience, the impact that AI is having not only in industry but will have on the local assembly.
Right.
So that is a very good question. Very,
Hmm.
very good question. We just don't have the time today, but definitely should be one at the top of the list. I even see a positive response from our producers in this regard. So I wholeheartedly believe that that's something that we should explore in the future.
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
We have a response from Bishop Param. Oh, he's not asking about the overseer tonight. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So that's wonderful.
Right. So it's greeting. Oh yeah, it's good to see him. I mean, he's a faithful watcher as well, so we appreciate him being with us as well.
Yes, he's a very faithful person. Yeah, so let's talk about how this show has inspired and motivated you, me,
Hmm.
and if the listening audience, if you kind of jump on in and share with us. Well, for me, the information that we have had, we just mentioned about Bishop Jones's, the
Yeah.
the information that has been shared, the guests that we have had that have come on and brought to our attention in a relevant issue has been of great impact on my life.
Hmm.
Um, and not that we probably wouldn't have had it experiences elsewhere, but it was a delight that we were able to actually be able to bring it to to our audience, to let
Hmm.
them actually be able to hear and sense and see how some of these issues are playing out in our communities.
Yeah. For me, when we did that session or that segment on mental health issues with men and also in the church,
Aha.
that was great because it helped me understand that you don't really know what someone's going through. I mean, all you can see is the exterior. You can always see the interior. So that way, you have to be able to identify certain traits in people when they're not speaking up. And so that helped me because, we're in a congregation. You can sit with someone right next to you and realize they're going through something. They can be on a major mental breakdown. And we've seen this happen, but we're not equipped to handle that. So listening to the advice that we were, talking amongst ourselves, and I think we had Dr. Neal on once before talking about things of that nature.
Yes.
It really helped us to, be more aware of this thing of mental illness. Because back in the day, you really didn't hear much about mental illness, but now it's become so, paramount now that you got to pay attention to it.
And let's not also forget that Dr. McNeil had shared information with us. I mean,
Right.
statistics, right,
Exactly.
on COVID and its impact.
Hmm.
And that has been a great help, in my opinion, to be able to say in order to say to share with our audience some of these things that are happening right within us. And so, yes, yes, this show has been very inspirational to me,
Hmm.
and motivated me in particular to get ready, prepare, do some research and some reading, so that we'll be able to have a good conversation, good communication with our guests when we have them on.
And
One go ahead, tell
and let's not forget some of the the questions we received from our studio audience. They have been really powerful. I mean, some of the questions they presented may have had us stumped a little bit, had you maybe scratching your head. Of course, overseer always had an answer for everything.
of course.
Of course,
Not that his answer is correct. So
correct. But
there is none on. He can't say anything. Not
can't
that
say
his
anything. So no,
correct.
no, no. But and we appreciate the studio audience for presenting those questions to us, because without them, the show would be boring. But their questions were just right on it, and it kept us on our toes.
Yeah. Our producers had two great guests that came on, I believe, this year.
Hmm.
One, we had Manning, entrepreneur. Remember, we had that was a good show as well.
Right.
Show how even as African American, that there are this is America. You can work hard and have a great idea and still be productive and progressive within our community.
Hmm.
And we had the doctor, her last name. The producer may have to help me with that last name. That talked about settings.
Oh, right. Yeah, because
Yeah,
we
yes,
were cracking on your backdrops. Right,
yes,
right.
yes,
Yeah, her.
yes.
Right.
Exactly. Yes,
Yes, yes.
yes,
Oh my
yes.
goodness, what was her name? That was a
Well,
good
I'm
episode.
certain. We'll give him a couple of minutes. You'll get the name to us. But you have uh, another one of our great listeners, Deborah Johnson. Have a point there.
Oh
Uh,
yes, the church used to be discouraged therapy since we have the Holy Ghost. And should we encourage the therapy, encourage our young people to seek careers in the field of mental illness? I think they should.
I agree.
I
I
think they
agree.
should.
I
I'm,
agree.
I mean, because we're living in a day now, man, where you definitely need to be well educated when it comes to certain things.
And that's coming from an educator, because that's
Yes.
Deborah Johnson. That is Deborah Johnson.
Hmm.
Um, need I say any more? We're talking about a great educator here. So
Hmm.
I'm hoping that she's helping us or helping the process to get the young and to be interested in mental health. There's her name, Sarah. Yes,
Sarah
Farmer.
McLeod, yeah,
Yes,
that's it.
Sarah Farmer. Yes,
Right.
and we had a competition. Uh
Right.
Go ahead, take it, Lamar.
Well, I'm gonna plead the fifth. So I'm pleading the fifth on that one.
You got to be careful, the attorney. Remember,
That's
Deborah
right.
Johnson on. So if you be careful how you answer, respond to Overseer Rupert's remark, because the attorney, he may reach out to the attorney to file a lawsuit here. So be very careful.
Go back to driving and stop typing. He's probably using AI. He's probably using AI to send his questions or his response in.
Yes, yes, yes. For a future show, yes, and we're taking. Please, want to remind listen audience again. Yes, we're taking suggestion, and we have another suggestion here for attorneys in to be a part of the show in
Mhm.
the future. So we got to take that on the consideration. That would be very interesting. But I'm going to leave it there. We
So
just
now,
ask.
are we going to have a male attorney or a female attorney? Since it is
Well,
the
of
B.A.D
course,
edition.
we'll have to reach out to, well, in my position, as far as I think, the greatest attorney that I know of is Deborah Johnson. You got to forgive me. All
No
right, so
doubt.
yeah,
Hands down on that one.
we'll
Hands
have
down on that one.
but he said my answer are always on point. You know
That's
how small
debatable.
a point is. Have you ever considered what a point is? A point is pretty small, you know. You know,
Right.
it's just on point. That simply means a point is tiny.
It's
You know,
tiny.
I want my answer to be on a mountain, not on a point. So over here, we take we take your response. Okay, his answer is on point. Okay, if he says it very small,
Look, that's his opinion. It's debatable.
yeah, it's a. Uh,
It's a, see, that's why I said, look, it says, almost ran off the road. I'm
see
done.
that? Yeah,
That's why I
yeah,
say you need to stick to driving. Some people
uh,
can't chew and walk, so that's the issue. Stop
yeah,
trying to type and drive.
yeah. We have another suggestion.
So
One
another
an
topic is a church
audience.
finance. Yes, that was a good
Yeah,
one.
yes, audience. Oh, I thank you so much. I want to emphasize again that we're taking these. We're gonna take them under consideration. We're not just asking. We intend to take them on the consider. Thank you, Deacon Howell, for that suggestion. Yeah. Okay. Let's continue moving. It says, let's talk about how the show as help the community. We talked a little
We
bit
already
about,
talked about
at
that.
least
Yeah,
I emphasize how the show has helped the community
right.
and the different ways that we can continue to be of help and benefit to the community.
Hmm.
uh, yeah, so here we are at the point where we want to say thanks again to our producers. If the
Yes.
producer would just put up some pictures, they would just want to say thank you. Proceed, Mark. Why don't you? This is the last show. You go ahead and take it away, and let's give it.
Would it be too wrong for the producer to actually show himself on camera tonight?
Well, he doesn't have his bad man shirt on, but he could. Amen. He could. He'd come on in and
Yeah, come on,
quickly.
producer, show yourself one time to the audience. It's the
That's a good
last show.
suggestion. Yeah, he's gonna put his stuff on, and
That's
who
right.
knows? Maybe he can actually do the announcement. There we go. All right,
There's
thank you
our
so
producer,
much.
Ken Walsh. All right. This is the
Yeah,
man behind the scenes,
anyway.
guys. The man behind the scenes.
Gentlemen, all I want to say, you see what magic happens when somebody is not on the show?
Drop the mic.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
Oh.
But working on the show and having it be a platform that we can help our church community with topics like single life, marriage, finance, mental illness, like you just mentioned. That's a pleasure to me. That's a pleasure to provide that information to everybody that's out there in all the different churches, in the pews. And if they can get some information and they can benefit from it, then our work is done. And I think that's the best value that the show can produce.
Talk to us
Thank
about,
you.
yeah. Why don't you just give us some announcements about what's available, the the merch that we
Merchandise.
have and stuff like that.
Sure. And we have merchandise for clothing, for mugs. So if you're looking at the show now, you see the outfit that Elder and Bishop is wearing. You too can have a t-shirt. You too can have a hoodie. And we will put up the image that will show you how to get that in a minute. But our swag, very, very popular. So if you want to be out there having Badman swag to say you support the show that provides information to the church audience, then by all means, you can reach out and we can get you some.
Thanks again, Rita. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Walsh. I truly appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Uh,
sir, and drive carefully, Elder Rupert. We want you back on the show next year.
Was
uh,
that a butter up
what,
or what?
what kind of magic is he talking about now?
Right.
Bad man magic. Oh my
But
goodness.
it's good. But even when we're not on camera, it's good to hear people especially at our convocation we just had, to hear people response about the show, how much they liked it. And, some of the response like, we need to behave ourselves, calm down or whatever, but it was saying in a way that, we have so much fun on the show. And even with my family, they talk about this show, how much they appreciate it. So even those who may not always chime and type, when you see them face to face, they give you their feedback, and that's positive. I appreciate that.
Yes, yes. Again, thank you, Mr. Walsh. Here is the way how you can reach out and assist us. You can zealous and you purchase hoodies and t-shirts, and we have mugs and cups, and they're all available by just calling nine. That's on 908 821 6504.
Right.
Yes, support us. Thank you again. And again, please remember to like us on Facebook and also to subscribe to us on YouTube. And when you do this, whenever the first show is back on, you will be first to be notified so that you can be a part of the new season. And so we're just so thankful. Oh, all right. We got a great thank you from Deborah Johnson. We truly appreciate her.
Yes.
We want to say with all of our guests, God bless you and we love you. We make it a point to actually say that we love you, God loves you, and we love you so much.
You
Uh,
know who hasn't chimed in yet? Deacon Simon Rollins. Where is he?
oh, well, maybe he's with overseer. I'm not.
This is possible. He hasn't chimed in yet.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, he hasn't. Yeah, he has not come on in, and there's no football game going on. So
No.
yes, yeah, yeah, and we also want to say that we have say thank you to Mr. Walsh. We also want to say thank you to Deacon Albert Minot.
Right.
He does the graphics. So many times you see most of the graphics that is done
Mhm.
during the introduction and also at the end. Those are produced by Deacon Minot, and we want to say thank there. Yeah, there we go. Yes, thank you so much. We appreciate everyone that has participated in making the show what it is today. So, Elder Mark, what are you planning to do on the off season? Please don't tell me that
Oh,
you're going to study preparing for the next season.
of course not. It was funny. It's funny you asked that question because I was talking to my wife earlier. I said, this is the last Batman show. I said, I'm gonna have my Mondays back because normally I would be outside doing some yard work or something like that. I didn't want to get all, be outside working in the yard, run out, take a shower, and then get ready for the show. And then I go to bed. I said, so now I can take my time when I get off from work. So now I can do some other things. But I'm gonna miss the show because, again, we bring so much insight. There's a lot of fun. There's a lot of laughter. And when we have the different guests on the show, they bring us a lot of things we don't know about. I mean, another show I just thought about when we had Bishop Bob Johnson on here, and he talked about Black Wall Street.
Yes.
Wow, Black Wall Street. That to me was rich.
Yes, in fact, we probably should do a second, another show on it because you just know that the Supreme Court, no, not the Supreme Court, the court has turned down they at a loss because there was a lawsuit in regards to um, the the massacre that took place there.
I didn't know that. Really?
That
Okay.
was in the news just a couple of days ago.
Hmm.
So we probably maybe do next season to get an update from Dr. Robert Johnson to share some insight on that with us. There's just so many good shows that we have
Hmm.
had. Not I haven't seen any response from my family. I noticed that overseer is probably smiling because um, Elder
Yeah.
Deborah came on in. I didn't see any no response from our family, Elder Mark.
No,
No, Mrs. Brown or Mrs. Brodus, none of them have chimed in.
let
But
them
I
chime
kind of have an idea what's going on. This is the last one for the season, so they're just overwhelmed with tears. They're just crying.
in. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Yeah.
They want to come on with those eyes are red.
Well, for my daughter, she wasn't feeling well earlier, so she's probably resting. So she wasn't feeling well earlier. So I'll give her the night off for responding.
I hope that's not a result of hearing the news.
No, she teaches summer school, and one of the classes she's teaching is doing psychology. So I think those classes when she's teaching wears her out. So she's probably just resting right now.
Okay, okay. I'm not sure what we have a response from Elder Johnson. I'm not sure what she's not likely about, but maybe if
Right.
she give us some more clarification, then that we'll be happy to engage. Yeah. Oh well, what a wonderful experience. To our listening audience, we thank you so much. Again, do we have anyone has any additional suggestion that they have for us in the future, please share it with us. We again we reach with ooh okay yes, this is you want to post that. Someone put that online. Is that you?
No, I didn't post that.
Oh, the race massacre. That's the show that we did. That's the
Okay.
show. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The we we're looking forward for the next for that next season, and we're thinking about having several themes. We might just have one or two themes um that we would focus on within the upcoming seasons. So we're
Mhm.
gonna ask our audience to uh, please continue responding, even if we're offline, with whatever comments and suggestions that you may have, so that we can incorporate them as we are moving forward
Mhm.
for the new season. What do you think about developing more uh, a stronger presence with relationships? Should we actually, oh, that's, yeah, with relationships in the for future shows,
I think
because we
that's
have a great
that's
response with Lady Bull. What are your thoughts?
I think we should because relationships are key, man. I mean, you see what's happening in the church as well as in the world. Relationships are crumbling all around us, and we need to find that. Well, we know that the common denominator will keep us together, but it needs to be reiterated what we need most to keep those relationships together. And I think we need to revisit that.
Yeah, okay. I want to thank Elder Johnson for her suggestion for Elder Living. Yes, we
Mhm.
want to do that. And for next year, we should do something with with finances as well. I don't think we did any finance this year. The previous, in season one and season two, we had several guests that came on that talked to us about finances.
Yes,
Probably
right.
should probably should look at that for the future as well, and see how we can actually you know improve the 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 level of information and availability of how we can rise
Mhm.
different individuals to become more productive. Also, with what about Elder Mark with the case of the Supreme Court uh, turning down the affirmative action? What you think? Should we do something
Oh,
with
most
that?
definitely. Yes,
What's your thoughts? What did you think about that? What you,
it's it's a sad thing. I mean, because it's going to have a major domino effect, in my opinion. So I think we should address that when we have our next show. We can talk more about it.
Okay, okay, I agree. My initial reaction to that is there's still a lot of privileges that have been been given. So
Hmm.
you turn down affirmative action, but you still have the benefit for those who are wealthy, that are able to get into certain colleges, even for athletes,
Right.
that the privileges that they have in order to. So there's a bunch there that we can actually explore.
Absolutely.
Actually
Absolutely.
explore.
So,
Explore.
Bishop, what are you going to do on the off season?
So on the off season, I'm going to rest up a little
Okay.
because I will be taking my more than likely I'm going preparing for my second course. This
Ooh.
time I'm going to do all the legwork. I'm going to do the research. I'm going to make sure I understand how much work it is, so I am not overwhelmed at the beginning. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, yes, yes. You had me nervous there for a bit, with level of reading. You realize that just for that one course we had to read 3 books, and the the average pages was over 350 pages. You had to read 3 books, and then not only that, you have weekly assignments, term papers, general papers, and weekly presentations.
Mm-hmm.
We actually and participate in this type of dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
You know, amongst the class, your classmates. Each class, each student has a certain subject matter that they have to cover. They have to do the research on that matter and present it. And so every for it's a 16-week semester.
Okay.
So 9 of the 16 weeks, we have 1 hour discussion where subject a certain subject has been discussed, and you have to prepare. Then you have the post that requires, um, you requires at least 8 post between what you write and your responses to others. So it's quite a bit.
You're going to be busy. It sounds like you're going to be busy.
It's busy, challenging, but it's rewarding because you learn a lot. Once you gotta read,
Mhm.
you gotta read, prepare, and that type of setting is good for me
Okay.
because I'm not terrible at reading books. I'm not terrible, but
Okay.
I'll read it at my own pace. But when you have 16 weeks to do required reading, you you'll be spending more time reading than doing other things.
So while you're doing your reading, I'll be working in my garden, doing my lawn and all that good stuff. So you continue to do your reading.
That's fine. That's fine. It's only my prayer is that the Lord will inspire you, that you will take up a similar task. So, as a misery loves company, so you'll be joining me. So we can all talk. Yes, yes. But it's rewarding. It's rewarding, and it prepares. It prepares me to entertain these kind of discussions again.
Hmm.
All right. So we're thankful again. I want to say to our listening audience, we truly appreciate you coming on. We thank our producers. We thank Elder Mark, and we we also express our gratitude to Overseer Rupert Johnson, who is on the road. We know that he was listening, and we know that we almost lost him as well. But through the grace of God, we will have him next season. And so we truly appreciate everyone that has been a blessing in the show. Thank you so much. Ella Mark, any other words you
I
have
just
for
want
us?
to, yeah, I just want to echo that. A big shout out to all the guests we've had on the show. I mean, you guys were just great. I mean, all the information you gave us to give to our listening audience, and prayerfully we can have some of you back again in the next season. And we're just looking to do bigger and better things. So continue to hit that like button, subscribe, and be ready for the upcoming season because it's going to be good. As that song says, it's going to be big.
There you go. And with that, we want to say thank you for being a part as we close out our third season and looking forward to season number 4. May God bless you. We love you. And with that, we say, God bless you.
God bless you, everybody.